We are live in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all music and all wrestling matters here. Sportswire Radio. We have a lot to talk about here. Mother Nature is talking about this New Year's vengeance like of storms, which is pretty much impacting us from where he is, I am, and maybe anywhere else in between. But the IMF returns this year in 2026 for its first show of the year, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about here, and I only have X amount of time as we usually do. We are less than 48 hours away from that first show, and there's no better person to kick things off here and talk about what's ahead, and that is the reigning, defending United States champion, your final chief, my final chief, the Samoan Dragon himself, the one and only Il Drago. Champ, Happy New Year. It has been a minute. And glad that we get a chance to spend a few minutes with you on a busy evening once again.
Yeah, I'm more than glad to be here, Tom. It's always a great thing to be on Sportswire and be here and represent not only IMF wrestling, but wrestling as a whole. So thank you for having me. And Happy New Year's to everyone else.
Yes, it's been a minute, but I have the poster up, which I'm going to put up here shortly, and you've had quite a run now as United States champion, and you've got an open challenge here. So, I mean, what can we expect here coming up less than 48 hours from now?
Well, I'm expecting what hopefully everyone else is expecting. All the fans, all the speculators, all the doubters, it really don't matter. A can of ass whooping. But Pierre Samoan, Mitt's pride and blood is always waiting for anybody or waiting to take the challenge. Because I'm always out for a challenge. This title means challenges, opportunities. It stands for the United States of America. So, ain't no better way than to issue an open challenge. So,
absolutely, but you've had a run. You've been defending it in multi-person matches. Your odds have been less than 50% in several of these matches. But any concern that there could be somebody out there that you don't even know how to prep for and plan for? Maybe even somebody that doesn't even work here in the IMF. There's so many ways that this could go about. I mean, Champ, is there any concerns about what could be coming your way less than 48 hours from now?
There's always concerns, Tom, and I'm glad you brought that up. One thing as a Samoan is we're warriors. We're always ready for war. We're always down for the action. But here's the thing. Il Drago's always showed this in the past, whether it's not now, then, or later, or even in the future. Il Drago, the high chief, the final chief, always has a plan. And that's the thing. I'm always trying to prepare myself. It could be Omen Black. It could be Big Man Cam. It could be, anybody coming down. It's an open challenge. And I'm expecting anybody to accept this open challenge.
Absolutely, and the show takes place, which we will be talking about throughout the entire evening, and it is sponsored by Backyard Barbecue, also Kiara's Comfy Creations. Please go out there and support Kiara, especially for the final chief, and also happy belated birthday to her, and also please support our friends over in Iconics, and this will take place 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, but you know the drill. Get there early, get a barcode there where you can scan and obviously hit the IMF sub button for them on YouTube. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram. We are here with the United States champion, the one and only Il Drago, the final chief himself. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about there. But when it comes to the first match of 2026, everybody always looks at that. This is the first match of 2026. They remember this. And does that add something extra? This is the first show that you're going to be out there, and the first match of what's going to be, I have no doubt for you, a very, very busy 2026.
See, this year's a lot different than last year. This year, defending the title. And to me, like you said, is there anything? I think this match, this event, this month, since we're starting a new year, 2026, right? I think it's time to start setting an example as a United States champion, with not only just the open challenge, but whooping ass and taking on any challenge that comes down or through that curtain.
Well, you're going to certainly, I'm sure, have some challenge your way, and I didn't want to bring this up, but I'm going to bring it up because, obviously we know your wars with Anthony Steele last year. We know the back and forth. You took that championship from him, but is it maybe something that's on your mind that you would want to surpass his reign and then become the longest reigning United States champion in IMF history? Or is there something bigger maybe eventually on your mind, champ?
You know, time passes so fast, especially the older you go, the older you grow, the older you get.
Yeah.
So to me, if that time comes, then it's another thing I accomplish and can add to the process of on to doing great things and things I can add to the list. But let me tell you this, my main goal, my entire main goal is to retain this title, not just for my people, my tribe, my ancestors, for the United States, for the people, the fans, like the IMF wrestling fans, the fans of Sportswire. They need a champion like me that I think maybe setting examples already. I don't know, but maybe I want to try to set good examples as a champion. Who's to tell? It's the fans to say, really. But at the end of the day, I want to be a great champion, not just to my people, but to the people that made me great, which are the fans.
Mm. Well, that's certainly your relationship with the fans has speaking and spoke for itself over these past several months, and obviously we want to say hello to people out there. And while we have some time with you, Jade is here first, which usually it's
Hello.
Zilla, but Zilla is rounding around home and wants to say hello to everybody.
Hey,
And
Mellow.
there you go. And Ox McCoy, who I know is going to be a huge part of
Mellow.
what we're going to talk about later on in the show, because he's got Gabe Sayers, and obviously Ox has wanted his hardcore championship back, but we'll have to see. And a man that certainly we may see on here in a little while, that is the Prophet Jordan Crowley, and he wants to say what's different is that finally Il Yorno, and I thought it was Il Drago, but he says we'll lose a title and he doesn't deserve, and regardless of who answers the challenge. I mean, he is the Prophet. We've seen him on here many times in the past, but am I missing something?
I don't know, but I know every time I see him, or I see his face, or I see his name, it agitates me, and I'm not gonna,
Mm.
take light to what he's got to say. I mean, I hate to disappoint the caterpillar from James and the Giant Peach, but uh, I plan on retaining.
Mm.
So
Okay.
the
I mean, I think
Peach
people want to
guy,
see you retain. I mean, it's been quite the run as
right?
champion, and obviously, I think the fans want to see it, and the fans you have a special relationship with, and I think that you want to continue that. I got to ask you because I'm sure we're going to see them on later on in the show, and that is the foundation's Soldier GP, the one and only. Now, IMF undisputed champion. Obviously, your colleague in the foundation. He certainly got some problems with the one and only Felix Jones. And man, you also have a lot of history with the Prince of Professional Wrestling. And I was curious, what is your thoughts now on how the landscape has changed here in the IMF with Soldier GP on top once again, and maybe what we'll expect there. But what is your overall impressions now that Soldier GP has reclaimed the IMF Undisputed Championship?
I just want to say, and I'll get to that. Well, I'm not the only one. Like everyone watched that, right? Like I'm pretty sure everyone seen me on the side of the ring. Like, yeah, get a moose, like get that, knocked them with a concrete block. Like but sometimes you got to do what you got to do by any means. So here's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel very strong about what's going on, and we already know what happened in the past with Felix versus his father. So I mean, he had to teach him a lesson. So we had to teach him a lesson. I believe last year in January, him and Parsley, or maybe I'm confusing years. I don't know. The time flies. At the final chief, you gotta be champ. You gotta
You're a
be
busy
champ.
man. I understand. You're a busy man. You have a lot.
Man,
You're the United States champion. We know with previous champions, whether it was Jovi or Mr. Steele, that's a huge responsibility. So I understand
yeah.
you got to focus on all 50 states. And I'll even make you laugh. My guest that came on here, which you saw at the end of the show on Tuesday, Mark the Shark, who is the GTS United States champion, he had his own goal of, which I think is very lofty, where he wants to wrestle in all 50 states. So I understand you're the United States champion and you got a lot on your plate also. I get it.
That would be a hell of an accomplishment. If he gets that done, more power to him. I believe I was in the chat when he said that. Yeah, I think I remember him saying that.
Yes. Yeah,
So
he
more
did say
power
that a
to him
few
if he
times.
does
Yeah.
that. But yeah, like It's a hell of a responsibility. A lot of people don't understand. I didn't understand. This ain't my first title ever holding, but this is my first U.S. title ever holding, and it is a lot different than some underground titles or whatever title coming up from the backyard or something. It's a lot. It's a
Sure.
lot different. People look at you different. People expect you. They expect things different as a United States champion, someone that could represent this country as a champion. It goes from boxing, it goes to wrestling, it goes down the line.
Yeah,
So
totally.
you gotta carry yourself well and try and maintain yourself and your composure and put on for your people. So
No, I think that's a well said point. I mean, listen, it's certainly quite the responsibility. If you're out here, do me a favor. Please hit the sub button for the IMF. We really like you to support them. And you had mentioned a number of different things, and it's great to see the progress that the IMF has had. We had Gabe Sayers on here a couple of weeks ago, and we had talked a lot about that. So we're very excited to see that. So let me run through some comments here before we wait for our next guest to show up on, which we'll have plenty of them. Speaking of people, after all, there's Burrell Crowley. It's Jordan, then Burrell, and she'll be a huge topic, I'm sure, in the Gabe Sayers and Ox McCoy match. And, yes, sister. Aaron Blaze is in here, who will be here. Hopefully, he'll beat the storm. Maybe since he's a headliner, a trailblazer, maybe he can, burn the snowstorm supposed to get here in the country on Sunday. But we'll see. Thank you, Aaron. Good to see you. Looking forward to Sunday's show. And yes, thank you for that. And speaking of people that were a topic last week, and I lost count. And that's this guy, Daniel Tafua, your Samoan colleague. He's two belts. He put out a thing now. He's two belt Tafua, and he's a king. And he did want to say hello, and he's back here next Sunday. But I'm sure he'll be here before that because I got a bunch of spots where his name will come up. So I'm sure we'll see him here, and but he's here, your fellow colleague there.
Samoan there. The final chief acknowledges King Tafua. Okay, so
yes. Yes. I like how you said that. Best laid plans of mice and men. Obviously, Mr. Crowley certainly has his opinions once again. Want to say hello to our lovely friend out there, Marie. Thank you, Marie, for being here with us. And thank you for, brightening our days. And speaking of people that have a comment, a man that doesn't work in the IMF, I want to point this out. The man does not work here in the IMF. And that is this guy, the boogeyman himself, the hardcore god, Omen Black, and he does want to say, me for an open challenge. I don't wrestle there no more, but if I did, I would again be the real Mr. IMF again. What is a chief to a king? I mean, obviously I see the pun in there, but that's his comment. He doesn't work in the IMF anymore. I mean, I guess he could show up. I mean, after all, it's an open challenge, but any thought or two there on Omen Black? It is his show.
Well, it was just a name to throw out there as a surprise, but
that's true. That's true. Good point.
Yeah, each is too long. So I'm still United States champion. I don't know if he's still champion, but
that photo's definitely got natural born killer vibe there. But I'm sure that the boogeyman will have an opinion, and we'll always give him the opportunity to give it to him, regardless of if he works here or not. But nevertheless, hit the sub button for the IMF, and also thank you, Aaron, and thank you everybody else here. And speaking of people that are here, which I'm sure will be a topic, there you go. Thank you very much for being here. And hello. And you're getting a lot of comments. And we'll see you Sunday. Can't wait. Me too. And need this challenge. And speaking of people, there you go. Open challenge. A lot of people are, that could be anybody out there. And thank you, Marie. Thank you. Yes,
right.
She's now. I heard she was going to answer your open challenge. She should. No, she's not going to do it. No, she's not.
I think it's illegal in Iowa.
Well, I'm not commenting on that. I don't think she'll do it, but nevertheless, we'll see. Real quick, just wanted to say to everyone, stay safe in both the weather and the current state for the world. Life can be crazy and unpredictable. Just a little side note. God bless everyone. Yes, I agree with you on that. There's somebody that's been a big topic on my platform over the years is dealing with something very serious. Isn't going to live much longer. Not a wrestler, but like that. Somebody I know where I am from, and I understand what he's trying to say. And it's something that's been really weighing me down for the past week. I'll just leave it at that. And thank you, Aaron. And we'll have a lot of YBW coverage Sunday night, a little after 9:30, whatever time it is. We'll go from there. We'll see who walks with your championship. Ox, all the best, please. Yes. We'll see. And no, Marie, I think, was confused about the Iowa reference. She didn't get that, but nevertheless, we'll see. Speaking of people that I'm always excited about, is What's Up Il Drago, and well, that is Maverick. He is the WVWF King of the Mountain champion, and he's been a big topic of late. And we're going to see him on before February 7th. So listen, champion meets champion. Who knows? You never know what's ahead. And no, Marie, we're not volunteering you for anything. It was just a bad joke that just didn't aim right. Do other people finally want to hear from me after my departure from the IMF? What do you think about that before I let you go and such? Do you think people would want to hear from the Boogeyman or nah?
I mean, they might. I feel like it might be another type Kendrick Lamar. I don't know. It might be a good thing.
Yeah, well, we'll find. Well, we may find out. We may find out. Thank you, Maverick, and yes. And Mr. Tafua on a previous episode or two did hack into my internet and did say that he does acknowledge you, Final Chief. I am the Tribal King officially, and if you said open challenge, I am in the red door, and it's always open. And obviously that's the case. I know you have a few things that you do have to get to, but do you have any final words for anybody that may want to answer this open challenge before Saturday night?
Well, I actually do.
Okay.
I guess as the Final Chief, as the United States champion, to anyone who accepts this challenge, just know you're going against a holder of a Ulafala. You're going against the first ever male Samoan glory briefcase holder. You're going against one of the best United States champions of IMF history, or gonna be, maybe. We'll see. But expect this to be one of the hell of matches that you've ever had in your life. And don't expect anything to be easy or breezy.
Well, I don't think your son's gonna answer the open challenge. I hope he'll be there, though. I hope he'll be there in attendance. But
we got to.
No, it should be. I mean, listen. I mean, it's a Saturday. There's no school on a Saturday, so that's the case. But if you are there, please follow Il Drago also on Instagram. Hit the sub button for the IMF. We would really, really appreciate all of that good stuff. And who knows what the future is, and we'll have to see. But before you go, I do have somebody that did want to say a word or two from you. So I did want to share that with you. So I must give this person the opportunity before we get to the next person that'll have, I am sure, a thing or two to say about the IMF. But ladies and gentlemen, for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, wait a minute, again? No, you really did hack into the system here once again. It's the Universal Hybrid Champion, the Samoan King, Daniel Tafu. I mean, what? You don't work in this company. What?
No, unfortunately, but I like to hack into your system regardless.
That's true, too. That's true. Well, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Tom?
You tell us. You tell us for me.
I'm here to acknowledge the Final Chief. I appreciate you, always. But if you have an open challenge, a Samoan nightmare is always waiting around the corner. Understandable the red lights ain't on today. The glass is on. I'm looking very superstitial.
You are looking like, obviously like $1 million.
But if I can get down there or you can get here, we can put the titles on the line. We can do whatever you want to do. You're the champion. I'm a champion. I'm a 2-belt champion. Maybe a 3-belt champion. Well, I can't say that the Final Chief is going to lose, but I feel like it's going to be a great, great match.
It would be.
So if we can maybe make that happen. Also, my mask tells me that Cody Maverick is in the chat.
Cody Maverick is in the chat. He will be here before the 7th of February, a man that you share a locker room with and a man you have quite a history with of late. Yes, he is here, Cody Maverick.
Also, he said that what? I am...
No one's worried about Tafua when Drago is around.
Exactly. Well,
Yeah.
Maverick, that King of the Mountain championship might come home to Tafua one day.
Well, I mean, you are the Universal Hybrid Champion, and after all, Mr. Enoch, the Chemical Valley Gunslinger, is going to be there at 325 7th Street coming up in 2 weeks from now. So you'll, I'm sure, be curious about what happens with him. And you've got obviously Mr. Sandwell and Miss Harper, and you're going to be here next Sunday, and you've invited people already. So maybe Mr. Drago, maybe he'll show up on your segment. Mr. Jameson, you showed up on his show last week, and that was certainly one where we're still talking about after some of the things that went down there, and you know how it goes.
It's going to be a party, a Tafua party.
Ah!
Bring your belts. Let's have fun, and let's show the people who we really are.
Well, I mean,
you can either grab a glass of wine, or grab a glass of champagne, grab a bottle, have fun. Because this episode of Sportswire will get very interesting.
Well, it already has. It already has, Mr. Tafua.
Whenever you're ready, El Drago.
Hello.
A Samoan to Samoan. Malo. And always follow, because I'll set you free. Welcome to the wasteland, and you'll never forget the name of Ta. Maybe I'll let someone else say it.
Tafu! Oh, well, yeah, that might work. That might work.
Boo.
That might work. Well, Mr. Tafua, I think you might be on baby duty, and Mr. Drago knows a little thing or two about that. So we may want to let you two say sayonara, and maybe we'll see you guys hopefully very soon, real soon.
Yeah, I'll think about that also. I'll definitely have that in the back of my mind. I also acknowledge you. Very proud of you. Very well deserved of what you've been doing. Don't worry, I've been watching. I say you've been doing a great job. So proud.
Appreciate it. Just always open your mind and always open your red door.
I won't forget.
If you open your red door, nothing can stop you.
Well, on that note.
Yeah, well, the whispers can always take you to higher places. But, like I said, you think about it, welcome to the wasteland. And you'll never forget the name of King Ta Fu.
And he left, and Mr. Drago, obviously we did not expect that, and obviously we want to thank you for being here, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens this Saturday, and I can't wait to see you back on from the fallout of it, and we have a busy month ahead here in the IMF, and I know you're going to continue to do what you do best, and we acknowledge you as the final chief, and I just want to thank you for being here on and the first time you meet Daniel Tafua here on the screen.
Yeah, I think that was the first time we actually got to talk. Like
yeah. He hacked into the system. That's what he does. He hacks into the system, and he decided that he wanted to hack in and meet you.
Yeah, I'd say certain parts of the islands can, breach certain security points. So.
Yeah, that's what it was. Well, champ, I want to thank you as always. I'm looking forward to your match as always. You're always one of my favorites out there in all the wrestling to watch, and keep up the great work, and best wishes to the missus. And we'll see you out there very soon.
Thank you for having me. So, and
anytime.
January 24th, bell time for my kindness, backyard barbecue.
Absolutely. That's it. You got it. That is Il Drago, the IMF United States champion, and quite an eventful start. And if you're out there, hit the sub button for the IMF. Now, I've received word that there is somebody also here that has a few things to say, and they may have a few things to say about this show that we're all going to be talking about here for the next hour plus. And for those that are listening and watching here, we have on his show, he had to be here. He is the former IMF undisputed champion and also a man that worked and was synonymous with the IMF over these past several years. And he is the boogeyman of the Midwest, the hardcore god, Omen Black. And first of all, Happy New Year, champ. Great to see you. And I believe this might be the first words you've said since what happened there last month at Winter Clash. And I'll take it away.
Winter Clash. That was interesting event. Wouldn't you say that, Tom?
Absolutely it was.
What can I really say? That I was beaten? Of course I was. Was I made out to be a scapegoat for all these guys to come together and finally be a team? I like to think that. But I want to spin off of that because my whole all of last year, I was preaching how things needed to change. The locker room needed to stop being split apart from Foundation Sinners or Foundation House of Wolves.
Yes.
If I could take anything away from last year and what happened at Winter Clash, I would like to think that I accomplished that. Wouldn't you?
I think you had an amazing run. What you did this past year as the IMF undisputed champion, the names that you had defeated, the names that, you disposed of and what you did. We're going to look back in a long time from now and remember what Omen Black did, not just in IMF, but I think in all of underground and independent professional wrestling in these past several years. So your run, regardless of what people thought or how people felt in Cedar Rapids or elsewhere, it's a run that will certainly stand the test of time.
I'm not even talking about the run, Tom. I'm talking about the goal. And
you wanted to walk out. Well, you did want to walk out on December 31st with the IMF Undisputed Championship. You were almost there. You were almost there. You were very close.
Almost only counts in horseshoes, though, Tom. We all know that.
Well, or a beanbag. I think beanbag.
Or a beanbag. Cornhole, But, no, I think what I like to take away from that, I did bring the whole locker room together. And as much as the guys in the locker room and IMF want to claim that I didn't, want to take away my accomplishments from me, no one could take that away from me, that I've made IMF better being there and leaving. Now, I had a lot of time to think. See, after Winter Clash, after, I guess, what Felix Jones liked to say, I tucked my tail between my legs. I did a lot of traveling in this short month. Went to Russia. Loved it. Beautiful. And it just trying to find myself, trying to figure out what's the next step for myself. Not even as Omen Black, but just who is Omen Black. So I guess I want to tell people I'm in the talks of going to Madhouse Professional Wrestling Training School, joining up with them. Also in talks of going to Pro Wrestling Academy Storm, whatever they want to call it. I'm butchering the name. I apologize.
I've been very excited to see that. I saw some clips on Facebook as well. Very, very excited about that.
I'm in talks of going to that company in Arkansas.
Yes.
I'm in talks with a lot of companies. Since I'm a free agent now, my phone has been nonstop ringing. But there's one phone call I haven't received yet. And I'm kind of sour that I haven't got the phone call from Dirty Donnie or the Office of IMF Wrestling. Wow. As much as they hate me so much, I was the guy. I was the guy on top. I was the one who put ass to the seats. I was the one who made the show, who gave a good show to the paying fans month in and month out.
Going to a new building, by the way, which has been a tremendous boost to not just the IMF, but I think in wrestling as a whole.
See, and the only person that's actually reached out to me wasn't Felix. It wasn't Jordan Netz. It wasn't Jason Myers. Hell, it wasn't even the Rev.
Wow.
It was.
We did speak. We did speak, by the way.
Or not you. I mean, the Rev.
Because we actually did speak, and we try to get you on here.
There's many Revs in the.
Yes,
Mr.
Sullivan. Yes, yeah. Got
No,
you.
Jordan Crowley of all people.
Well, say his name. I mean, he may appear soon.
Like, hey, since I've been gone of IMF, like, if anyone wants to take over Sportswire, go ahead. Like, I'm moving on.
No, you could listen. No. You always are welcome on Sportswire. I mean,
I know that. Just, I feel like
it's your platform. It's your platform. Listen, without you, I mean, Gus G, the second longest tenured guitarist in Ozzy Osbourne's life, wouldn't have been here. I mean, David Ellefson, some say he's the founder of thrash metal alongside Dave Mustaine. He wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for you. Mark Farner's been here twice. I mean, Grand Funk Railroad, broke the Beatles' attendance record once upon a time. They wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for Omen Black. It doesn't matter if Omen Black wrestles in IMF or not. If it wasn't for you on your platform, these names, these titans, I mean, these heavy hitters like yourself would never have showed up here. So, don't sell yourself short there, my friend.
Tom, you could be as humble as you want, and I honor that. But honestly, that was you who got all these musicians and legends on here. So I don't want to take anything away from you, Tom. You never took anything away from me. I don't want to take anything away from you. That was all you.
You're Omen Black. No, you did a lot for the IMF. But let's talk about the fact that you didn't get a call from management. And that seems to bother you considering what went down throughout this past year, especially in the lead up to you and Soldier GP at Winter Clash. I'm curious, why does that bother you so much?
Like I said, Tom, I was the guy. No one could have touched me. No one. No one could hold a light, even a candle to what I can do, what I could shine in the IMF. But to see all these guys, they just want to keep biting my name. They want to keep my name in their mouth. You would think they're swinging for the same team, how much they have me in their mouth. Pause. But I find that funny. I find it amusing. So I watch all these promos, these interviews. I chuckle, I laugh. But I feel like like I said, I've accomplished what I wanted to. I've changed the IMF for the better.
You brought the IMF.
The
listen, you were one of the people, and undoubtedly at the top of that list, that took the IMF. I remember, let's talk about it. I remember over 3 years ago when I was contacted by X, Y, and Z about this company that was in the backyard, and they wanted to go to all these different places. And, and they said that individual, don't have them on, but you know about them. They're going to reach out.
Oh, yeah.
And they've got big plans. And we saw what you guys were, who showed up, and eventually you guys showed up here. You guys certainly were, right off the bat with DKW and Darkron and Matthew Vizik, and now with Johnny Velocity. And, you've seen the IMF, the growth, and 2 years ago, the first indoor show, and now to where you guys are in a building. You guys have all of these huge stars. I mean, let's talk about Rory Fox. How about a guy that has been on WWE TV? I mean, and you have a long list of names that are superstars in the wrestling world, and they're in your company now. From where this was 3 years ago, more than 3 years ago, you're one of those guys that helped the IMF to get to where it is today.
What can I say about Rory Fox that he hasn't already said about himself, or his line of work, his career has said about himself?
A legend. MTV, WWE TV. I mean, the man. Chris Jericho, Talk is Jericho. I mean, this worker. Man, absolutely.
And look at IMF now. Like, me being gone, they got Isaiah Rage coming back. I'm excited to watch the product with him. I see how he does.
I think that's a good point. I think it's a very good point. What does he do after almost a 2-year absence? And he's going to have a lot, I'm sure, that he's going to want to do and maybe rectify what's happened that we didn't see in the last year and a half.
Now, I know he's facing what's his face?
Nicholas Crenson. That'll be the
Yeah.
name. Nicholas Crenson. Man, you know very well. You've worked with in multiple states. I mean, you know very well Nicholas Crenson.
Yeah, that potbelly. You know what? I shouldn't. Okay, I shouldn't throw a lot of shade on Nicholas Crenson. You know, like I said, or like you just said, Isaiah Rage been gone for what, a year and a half?
Yeah, about a year and a half.
As much shit I give Nicholas Crenson, he's no light work, especially for being gone for a year and a half. It might be a test for Isaiah Rage.
Hey, listen, Nicholas Crenson has been here. He's been here time and time again. And those are the kind of guys I wouldn't sleep on. You can say what you want about the past or the present, but the future right now, Nicholas Crenson is going to be a huge part of that. And Isaiah Rage, he has to pass this test and time will tell.
Fortunately, I've been in the ring with both of them. And I can say this also. Isaiah Rage is it's not a person you want to like sleep on. Like
you've interviewed him too. You firsthand inside the ropes. You interviewed him.
I wrestled him. He's not an easy competitor. Like he's all muscle. Like he'll throw you around if you wanted to. And I'm excited to see what that matchup between Nicholas Crenson and Isaiah Rage will be. And then you got Mason Grayskull. I saw a little bit at Winter Clash, him feuding with
Freddie Daniels was fired up. I mean, he almost got his hair burnt. I mean, Freddie Daniels right now. I mean, I just saw what he had to say yesterday, and that's a really, really fascinating match.
He fucked up his hair. You can't pour gasoline in his hair. That's my Freddie Daniels impression. It's not that good. Don't laugh. But no, I'm excited to watch New Year's Vengeance. Either I watch it on YouTube. Hell, I'm a free agent. I have to buy a ticket nowadays, Tom. So maybe I'll drop the $10 or $15 or whatever.
No, you don't have to buy it. I'm sure you get a lifetime pass. No, I'm donating $20. I'm sure that money can cover you. You're a legend. You can go for free.
As humble I would like to be, Tom. I'll support the platform that created me, that gave me a spot.
Nah, you don't.
No, I'm not gonna go there alone though. I'm no dummy.
Oh.
I know I pissed off a lot of people when I left.
Dirty does want to confirm. Dirty is here, and I want to defer to Dirty on this. You do have to buy a ticket. He just wants to point it out. Thank you, Dirty, for confirming that. You do have to buy a ticket.
That's fine. I know I'll be glad to drop the $20 for you to get toothpaste, Dirty Donnie. No problem at all.
Well, look, that's your opinion, and you're entitled to that. But I mean, look, you've had an amazing run in the IMF, but I mean, listen, you're not going to be forgotten, and I think that you're going to do a lot of things, and I don't think the door is closed for you. You could come to any time to wrestle in IMF, I'm sure.
I'm sorry, Tom. I'm reading these comments.
We got a lot of them. Yes, we do. We're not going to put that. Thank you, Ox. We do want to keep people coming on to sports. I appreciate that. 2 years ago, maybe we could have read that off, but we can't do that today. Thank you, Skulls, for saying. Some may say once you're IMF for life until the day you die.
I mean, that means a lot coming from a guy who's in an IMF. But I appreciate it.
Well, he's certainly
do.
He's come a long way too in his own writing, refereeing and wrestling in California. I want to say that Jade May. I haven't seen Jade May in a long time. The former WWF Women's Champion. The WWF seems to be in the house. Felix Jones does not have much love for you. There hasn't even been another show. How do you miss him? Long time we'll see. And boy, Zilla and Felix Jones are fighting. A sign of things to come here later on. Also, yes, Daniel Tafu was interesting. And bro left us. It is still taking up IMF time. What a joke. I mean, Felix, do you think he's mad because maybe you didn't get the job done and what you wanted to do? Is that maybe a part of why Felix is upset and such, maybe?
Absolutely, Tom. I heard what Felix said in his promos. He feel like I let him down. and I can see that, and I take responsibility for that. I really do. As much as I love my nephew, it was my time to go. But I want to say this to you, Felix. I know you're listening. So I'm going to look right into my camera, eye to eye. I had to leave for you to get that spot. So if you want to take anything away from my career, Felix, just take away that I gave up my spot for you.
That's very, very fair and reasonable. And Omen Soldier GP is still, as what he has said throughout this past year, and you're still my brother, man. My hands are still out there. I mean,
you tried killing me in the ring.
Well,
get that comment out of here.
Well, you know, he did have to defend his family after what had happened with the previous show.
Yeah, you're my brother. No one will ever change that. As much shit as I've done and said this past year, you tried killing me. Now, I know my actions at Dirty Deeds weren't the most respectful or honorable. Hell, I've gotten death threats for what I did to Soldier's son. But I want to move on from that, actually.
I understand. I know it's a difficult period, and we don't want to certainly harp on that. And I know we have other people that want to talk in the IMF. Johnny Velocity is saying good evening to you. Johnny obviously is a man that you know very well, and a man that you have wrestled and also lived with. And I would love to see Jade May back out in wrestling. I love seeing different people out there. And also Ox McCoy is saying that you should be charged double. I wouldn't be able to comment on that. But,
I want to take this time.
Yes, sir.
Tom, I guess being on here has become my time to. I guess it's my. I'm a YouTube influencer now. I got to make my public apologies.
Nah, you don't have to do that.
So I want to apologize to you, Ox. Never meant to hold you back, but I'm glad that you're free now from your shackles to show who the fuck you really are. So keep it going. I hope you get your title back. See, it's weird being humble nowadays, Tom. I'm giving myself a little goosies over here.
Well, I mean, listen, times have changed. It's a new year, and maybe things are different, and maybe that will be a sign of things to come. Obviously, Ox McCoy's got his hands full with Gabe Sayers. Gabe Sayers was certainly here and had plenty to say about his return to the IMF coming up this Saturday. And I mean, Ox wants that hardcore championship, a championship you certainly had. So a lot of people are excited about that.
You know what? I'll say this also, Ox. I was claiming that I was the greatest IMF hardcore champion. I will humbly admit that I was wrong. It is 100% Ox McCoy is the greatest and forever will be the greatest IMF hardcore champion. But let's talk. I want to talk about that match actually. I've faced Ox. I've been in a group with Ox.
You faced Gabe. I
faced Gabe. Gabe, I want to say this, like, Gabe's probably got some tricks up his sleeve, so don't underestimate Gabe Sayers.
Hey, Gabe talked about when he was here last, he talked about training under the likes of Paul Roma and Mario Mancini. And I heard Gabe just before this past Sunday on Rick Del Santo's Pro Wrestling Wire, and he talked repeatedly about that. And he's been in there with a bunch of guys. We talked about Rory Fox earlier, but also Gabe Sayers was just now on the same show as Wrecking Ball Legursky. We know him from the NWA. Yeah. Cheeseburger. I mean, this is a guy who's been Ring of Honor. I mean, so Gabe Sayers, this guy has learned from the guys that have been there. So Gabe Sayers is going to come in with a totally different element that maybe we haven't seen from him before.
Right. He works with guys like Angel Santiago and
oh my God,
Doc Holliday and Caster, and I can go on Mikey Anarchy, Jimmy Controversy. He's been on shows with Tarzan Duran.
We had Mark the Shark, the GTS United States champion on Tuesday's show. He's worked with him. Jake Dvorak. A lot of people know Jake Dvorak, certainly. I mean, Leon Hyman has a great list of talent.
Jake, by the way.
Absolutely. I mean, Eric X Black certainly found that out firsthand.
Yeah, Eric Black.
So James Sayers has been in there, and he's been there with a litany of guys, and that certainly brings a dynamic that I think a lot of people are curious to see how it'll play out this Saturday.
Yeah, so if I can give any piece of advice to either one of them, to Ox, like don't count down like Gabe Sayers. He's definitely has some tricks up his sleeves. I mean, he comes from GTS. He's gonna have tricks up his sleeve. Now, if I can give any piece of advice to Gabe, if you have an idea how to put Ox down, you might want to double down on that, because Ox, he's a glutton for pain. He wants to be hurt. Like, there's no other way around it. Ox McCoy loves to get hurt, but that's what fuels him. So
Cato found that out first. And don't forget what Ox did to Cato. Beat him not once, but twice. Cato is a guy that's been in the Carnage Cup. And we saw what Ox McCoy did to him.
Yeah, IWA Deep South, living legend right now.
Absolutely.
And then, I don't even know what the rest of the matches are, because I know there's like only 4 that I want to really watch.
Il Drago Open Challenge. We know that. We've got Rory Fox and Austin Bayless. You spoke about Rory Fox. Felix Jones is here. We have that matchup. And we have who's going to be on here in a couple of minutes. We have the Tag Team Championship match, which now is a total different wrench thrown in there. And Tone DeBoss is going to talk about that here live. I mean, there's a lot to talk about here. We're very excited about it.
Actually, let's go right into the Open Challenge for the U.S. title.
Yes.
Me and Il Drago are 2-1 right now. I've beaten him twice. He's beaten me once. And I will say that I literally had to go to the darkest pit of my soul just to...
in my darkest hour. Mr. Ellison, wrote that song. We took you in your darkest hour.
I've hit him. I slammed a dumpster lid on his head. I've had to literally choke him out with like a homemade fucking rope at Shots of War. I tried giving him brain damage with that.
Yes, that was the one. Yes, that was Summer Bash 3. Yes.
So whoever wants to answer that challenge, they better be eating their Flintstone vitamins, eating their Wheaties that day, because But I feel like my guess, I'm going to give it to Il Drago for sure.
Well, listen, Drago's certainly fighting for history. I would love to see the collective in the IMF. Ampo the Destroyer from Tokyo. Dave Jamieson has been a big topic. I mean, there's, Daniel Tafu was on. A wonderful thing. And, Ox McCoy is talking about Deep South. And Mr. McCoy is excited about this match. We're going to hear from Mr. DeBoss here in a few minutes. And he's obviously a big fan of Omen and Ox, and two people he loves seeing in the ring, and he prays he never has to be in the ring on opposite sides of them. Very well point taken. And Omen Black is the truth. Yes, a lot of people, hope we haven't seen the last of you in an IMF ring. I mean, this can't be true. This can't be true. I mean, I would hope that we'll see you in an IMF ring out there. I mean, just why not? I mean, that's the way I look at it. I mean,
look at Hogan. Like, he had to move on from the WWF to WCW, and look at that. His move from ship to ship made him 3 times the biggest star he was.
Absolutely, changed the game. Obviously, with
gave birth to one of the biggest groups ever. Like, yeah, it's
absolutely.
So let's just. I know they want to call my brother Hulk Hogan of IMF. James said he wants to call him Hulk Hogan. The Soldier GP is Hulk Hogan, but this is my Hulk Hogan moment. I'm gonna jump ship.
Well, I would say I want to go with Mr. Jovi on this one. When that came up, and I would say with Jovi in one regard is that the fans love Soldier. I mean, you can't deny whether you're an IMF wrestler, IMF fan, or just watch, or maybe have not been in the company to see that Soldier. He has the support of the fans like no other out there. I mean, the fans truly, it firsthand. You found that out. He does have a fan base that was rabid for him.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I had to go against all the Soldier maniacs.
Listen, whether you call it Hulk Hogan or not, he's got the fans, and that's, that's the way it goes.
But actually, I want to talk about the tag match too. Like, that's
we're going to talk about that. Well, Tone DeBoss is going to talk about that. Let's talk about it.
I know Midwest Express ain't in it. It's
Yes.
not taking part of the match.
Mhm.
But I don't think the match needs Midwest Express. Let's
No?
look at both teams. We got former IMF Tag Team Champions. They're Rockstars of the Galaxy. You got Sean Jovi and Mephisto. Both men I have had the honor of sharing the ring with. And I guess
Mephisto, you
humbly,
took the IMF World Championship from, and Sean Jovi, you have had quite a history with him that goes back years with Sean Jovi.
if I was the old Omen Black, I'd be like, you know, I changed them both, and look at where they're at now. But as much as I want to give them the edge, I'm gonna have to put the edge towards Prince and Tone, only because Prince is a great competitor. He's a lot of people don't know he wrestles in IMF, but he's also the next day, every Sunday, at Madhouse Pro Wrestling Academy. So after he gets done whooping ass on Saturday, he's going to get his ass whooped and whoop more ass on Sundays. So I have to give that. And plus, Tone's meant for this. Like, yeah, I know
he's got charisma like no other. This guy, because he has somewhat 8 million views. I mean, this guy, he's got something about him.
Yeah. And by the way, shout out to Chi-Chi. I know Tone laughed at that. But no, Tone and Prince are coming off a great win at Winter Clash.
Absolutely.
I think they're still living on that high. I don't think there's anything that the Rockstars could do to bring down I guess Tone and Prince. I don't even know what their team is. I'm just gonna call them Tone and Prince.
I don't think they need a name. I think that they're right now showing the world, and I think Tone DeBoss wants to show that he's here to stay. I think that's the whole point that he's been trying to prove to Jovi and Mephisto, and that may just carry them. It just may carry them to retaining those championships, and who knows what happens from there.
I guess we're going to have to find out Saturday that the Resident Rockstar is going to soon figure out it's showtime.
I hope he gets there. I hope he gets there on time, because
shout out to you, Tone.
He'll be here. I know he's waiting. We're going to give him that opportunity shortly, but it's a great show. I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, Felix and Soldier.
Yeah,
I know.
I want to finish with the main event.
I can't wait for you to say on this.
Like I said, I had to leave to give Felix my spot, and I hope that Felix can pull it off and do something that he has deserved and owed, and has become the IMF World Champion. Now, I'm not taking anything away from him. You know, Felix Jones could easily be the next IMF World Champion. I hope that happens Saturday. I don't know what to say, because I don't want to.
Felix has had an amazing run. We know what Felix has done, and Felix has a chance to etch his name in history. And I think for what he's done at his age, and I say it all the time, there are guys that have moved up the ladder, and he seems to be that next one. Dave Jamieson was here last week. We spoke about him, who's done that. Ace Christian, a man that's been here in the IMF, and he talked about eventually he wants to come back here to the IMF. And we know after the last time he was here, he wound up winning the WDWA Light Heavyweight Championship. That's a company that the Good Brothers and Eric Young have gone and crossed into, Moose. So that shows you what Ace Christian has done. And Dave Jamieson wrestled this guy, KJ Orso. And it seems like Felix Jones is that next guy in line from what those guys have done the last few years. And if Felix beats Soldier here, he very well may do that. But, Soldier, like you said, does have the power of the fans, whether it's the Soldier Maniacs, whether it's Hulk Hogan, whatever it is. And it's certainly personal between those two. And Felix, and I'm sure Soldier will get a chance to talk about that here in a little while.
Just, Felix, you just can't let the Soldier Maniacs get to your head. That's all I can really give you. I know you have it in you to beat your father, Soldier GP, but don't be too cocky. That's all I'm going to say about it. Then again, he's also my brother, so It's one thing that we have that we're really good at is kicking ass. So
We're gonna find out. I'll tell you what, I'm very excited about that, and we hope that we get to see you on here in the near and distant future to talk about whatever next you have that you're gonna work on. I would hope.
yeah, well, we could definitely set something up, Tom. I'm not.
I would love that. Would love to see you back on here, James Taylor. Would obviously love to see you back on. Another man that obviously hasn't been on here in a while, and I mean, I think that would be an interesting thing. I was very excited to see that you're on here and other people here were paying their respects to you. And I mean, is any other names out there you may want to mention, or anybody else that you'd like to talk about before you may sign off and such?
Actually, I know one person that it's around James Taylor's neck of the woods, cousin Condry. He has reached out to me. He's watched a lot of my footage, and with him, it's giving me the props, and Rory Fox and Damian Saint giving me props. I think I'm making the right move by leaving IMF and going on to Madhouse or Storm Pro Wrestling Academy. It's one of those two for sure, but I'm making the next step. Because my dream goal is obviously go to GCW or JCW. Those are my two goals right there.
Tafua and Dave Jamieson were there in a show about 5 or 6 months ago. They were there. They were in that building. I mean, so they know that's a goal that a lot of people, and Mr. Tafua also wanted to remind people he's wrestled the Soul Taker, who is a massive name. So, why not you? Why not you? I mean, I've seen guys on, a guy D Savage. I mean, he's wrestled Tommy Invincible. Look at what this guy is. And the guy has put himself in a position that he went from, like in the backyard and underground, and now is a reputable champion. D'Angelo LaFlame has been training. Mickey Vargas and, some of his guys at SSW are here next week, and those guys, I mean, what they've done, and Mickey Vargas is an example of that. I mean, there's Joey Knight Jr. who's here on Tuesday. He's come up from the promo wrestling ranks, and look at where he's going. So I don't see why you can't, if this is what you want to do, go out there in progress, because so many guys have done that. I mentioned KJ Orso. Jordan Oliver was a backyard wrestling stand, a guy that followed and idolized the GBYWA. Look at where he is now. I mean, there's a long list of people. And you'll just be the next one, is the way I see it.
I appreciate that, Tom. I really do. And see, now you got me thinking, like, what if I did come back to IMF? What if a day I come back to IMF? What would be my first step? Oh, there's definitely a fucking hit list in mind if I ever show back up to IMF. I could promise you right now, if I ever show back to IMF, that hit list will be active the first minute I'm there. And I'll be taking off names just like the Iceman did back in what?
Reminds me, remember Billy Madison when Steve Buscemi's character had that list? Yeah. That's going to be you.
That's me. I am Steve Buscemi. I'm just handsome.
God help the IMF locker room and Sportswire, but I think you got to do what's best for you, whatever that may be. I think that I know we'll talk about it very soon, but I also think that whatever it's going to be the best for you, most importantly, champ.
I'm just interested to see who, like, I've given my spot for Felix, but I'm interested, since me being gone, who's going to step up?
I mean, Anthony Steele's a name you haven't mentioned. You have a history with him. What happens with his future? Felix controls that. Where does he go from here? I think that's an interesting name that, we don't know where he goes. And, what about him? Mention Mason Grayskull. That's a guy to me that's really intriguing. Isaiah Rage, what happens with him? Jason Myers, where does he go from here after what's happened with you? There's a lot of people I think I'd be very curious to see where their future goes. And we're going to find that out starting this Saturday.
It's not, I don't want to make it seem like I'm waiting to see who's going to be the next Omen Black. I'm waiting to see who becomes better than Omen Black. That's what I'm more excited for.
Oh, that's going to start this Saturday. And obviously, I know I speak for so many, and we thank you so much for all that you've done for wrestling and what you've done for a movement. And I know this is not the last of you, regardless of where that may end up in your future. And I'm very excited to see regardless. And the way I see it is, listen, it's a natural step. If this is what you want to do, it's a natural progression to where a lot of guys in your shoes have gone. I mentioned those names, recent names that have been on here: Mickey Vargas, D Savage, D'Angelo LaFlame's a name, Joey Knight Jr. We mentioned Ace Christian. Ace Christian's basically, done that. He was on here in a totally different dynamic. There's so many guys that have been in your shoes, and it's a natural progression to where you'll end up just like they have.
I can only imagine if I get to that level of an Ace Christian or of a D Savage. They left their respected companies and went on to greatness outside.
Yeah, sure.
And into the professionals. So I'm excited to see. Like I said in Jovi's vlog, my story's not done. It's really just beginning.
That's it. That's absolutely well said. And we'll get to some more comments. Tone was definitely born for this. More power to him for achieving greatness in the ring. Yes, James Taylor is here. And yes, hello. And if you're out there, please hit the sub button for the IMF. Please hit the sub button for us. We'd really appreciate that. If you're also out there and you're nearby the area, please buy a ticket. We really like people to support. This is how you support wrestling and you support the talent, because this gives people an opportunity to wrestle. And we're very fortunate that we can sponsor these shows. But please go out there if you can and bring a friend, bring a loved one out there and see so many great people. And Jason Storm, by the way, I'm very excited to see what his future may be here. And the guy is getting himself into great shape, a guy that I know is going to be back and have big things ahead. And another name you've certainly tangled with. And I want to give him a buzz as well for a mention before you go.
Right. And I'm excited to see what he does in ROEW and IMF. Also with what's that guy with 2 letters for a name? Oh, JX.
Yes, well, I mean, that's a great name. I don't know what his future may be. I know Johnny Velocity's future is coming to an end here, and a man you have had quite a history with forever etched, and he's
that's another person I need to apologize to. I'm sorry. I said some heinous things about him last year. Unforgivable things. I had to go to church just to feel good about myself. So, Johnny, you're always going to be Darkron to me. Darkron, I want to apologize for all the horrendous shit that I've said about you in the last year. It's honestly, Tom, it's that gold. Once you're the world champion on top of the mountain.
No, listen, you know what you did is IMF undisputed champion Damian Saint, Anthony Steele, Sean Jovi, Felix Jones. I mean, Il Drago. I mean, to list, Gabe Sayers. The men that you went out there and Mephisto, you took the championship from. What you did. It speaks volumes, and I think once again, regardless of whatever happens, whatever people think about you, from an objective viewpoint, your run as champion certainly helped the IMF and will stand the test of time. And I have no doubt your future is just beginning. The best is yet to come, as we always say.
So, yeah, I just want to wish everyone good luck Saturday. Make it a good show. And I want to say this to Felix. Felix, I am sorry, and I do forgive you.
Mark Farner did talk about forgiveness, and he talked about love on the show on Monday, and obviously you seem to be echoing that theme, and I look forward to seeing you on here very soon coming up, and I can't wait to see what the future lies in store for you, champ. And it's always your platform. You're always welcomed, and thank you for all you've done for our sport. Thank you for everything you've done for this platform, your own platform, and most importantly for the IMF. And I can't wait to see what's next. And obviously, thank you, Il Drago, for the very compassionate comment. And Felix Jones obviously said that, and I'll leave that at that. But Omen, I got to get going because I got to get to the rest of the show. And thank you. That is Omen Black. And boy, we did not expect that one, but we're going to move on here because he's been waiting, and I apologize. You were waiting a ring, and then I couldn't ring no. And it is the man that was the host of Jovi's vlog, which please check that on Jovi's vlog, but he is definitely two-belt Tone DeBoss. He is one half of the IMF Tag Team Champions and also the Intergalactic Champion. It is such an honor to have you on here. I know you got a tour to get ready to and more music to create, but you spent a few minutes with us, and thank you for doing that. And just talk to me about what can we expect coming up here Saturday night when you defend those tag team championships against those rock stars of the Galaxy and a mystery team to be named later, you might want to say?
Yeah, dude. I'm beyond excited. Like this is my calling. You can hear me all right?
Oh, we hear you perfect. We are definitely
I want to make sure they all
ringed
hear
in.
the boss loud and clear that I'm coming in.
We hear you.
And I'm gonna continue to grow and get better in this league. Like
absolutely.
Read the comments. I was meant for this, man. I was born to do this and didn't even know. Having Prince in my corner, the sky's the limit. Taking over IMF, winning 2 belts,
and it was a span of what, a month and a half. I mean, you go out there and what you've done. I mean, listen, you got charisma like we've never seen, and I think underground and independent wrestling, and I think Omen made a great point that very well could carry you in Prince to keep those tag team championships and may keep them for the foreseeable future. Oh
yeah, I see it for a long time, and I'm looking forward to stepping into that ring every time. I've performed in front of thousands in cities all over the country. Nothing felt like before the match, in the ring, and the rush and adrenaline I had after the match. Like, and that's, I mean, that was win or lose. I've never been so pumped. But I knew I had to win. There was too much at stake. Like my first in-ring appearance, it was a lot tougher than I expected. I'll tell you that. There's moves I've been watching my whole life.
The Undertaker, you were able to pull that off. I mean, what you did, and John Cena. I mean, boy, 2 of the greatest legends. You're a legend in one world, and what you were able to do with those legends and winning the tag team championships on the same day of John Cena. I mean, just an amazing thing what you were able to do. And I mean, it just shows that you were born for this. You were born.
I mean, I studied, and that's, I didn't even know I was studying. I just love this sport so much. Like every show now, like I think it's wrestling every night for me now, except weekends when I DJ. So, Monday night Raw.
Okay. We can understand. We'll give you a pass on that.
Yeah. Wednesday Evolve, Thursday TNA, Friday SmackDown, Saturday, Sunday. If there's not a pay-per-view, all right, I'll catch up with some AEW. Like it's been pretty epic, man. And I didn't know I was studying for something I love so much to actually be a part of it. So I will always give praise and thanks and shout outs to Soldier GP, Prince of Chia, like, and I mean, it's not just, oh, I'm a rapper trying to make an appearance, or like when you see the celebrities get involved, like, this is good press and PR when they get in the ring. No, this is something I love and I honor and respect. And I'm even going to start training this February at the Storm Academy. Shout out to Shane. So like, this is serious. It used to be just father, rapper, podcaster, all the other titles. Now it's narrowing down to father, rapper, wrestler. And I love this. Like, I'm in for the long haul. I was looking forward to facing the Midwest Express. I wanted to get familiar with those guys this Saturday, but unforeseen things came, and now we have a new mystery opponent that may come from another company. So I'm really
yeah. I think that's such an interesting thing. We were talking about it with Drago when he was here at the beginning of the show, and this open challenge, and you've got a mystery opponent. That could be anybody. I mean, that's very difficult to prepare. You have had such an amazing career. Obviously, we know 8 million views you've gotten on some of your music. You've been out there. We've had championship teams come out to it. We know the WWE ties that you have with Anthony Luke. But this, I don't know how you prepare for something like this.
Man, you don't, like, there's training. Like I said, shout out Storm Academy. So I'll be training, but this was something I wasn't prepared for. Like I said, moves I've been watching forever, not just the ones that I did, but moves that got placed on me. I will shout out my opponents. We're going to beat them again Saturday, but like, shout out Mephisto and Sean Jovi. Those guys are monsters, man. Like Mephisto had me in the Boston Crab. I never knew how bad that move hurt. Like I knew, obviously, it's won some titles, it's won some matches, but good Lord, could I not wait to tag out? Like that guy is a monster, and I've known it. I my first time going to an IMF event, they were at Double Z's, and
Yes.
I want to give a big shout out to the guy you just had on, Omen Black. That
Absolutely.
dude, I watched him go through the tables, off the stage. Even just this last show, I watched him get hit with a cement break that looked like it exploded over his head. I respect him, but I also, I want him to come back to the ring. I just don't want to be in the ring against him ever. and I'm pretty fearless. I take all challengers. This belt right here, I've been traveling, and I got to start recording because I'm defending it in cities like Chicago, Dallas.
I saw you in Vegas, right? You were in Vegas or last year, the end of last year.
Minnesota. It could be at an airport, a gas station, doesn't matter. This intergalactic championship, I don't know what Becky Lynch is talking about with her IC belt, but this is the real intergalactic championship, and it's 24/7. I'll defend anywhere, anytime. But yeah, man. But I'd rather not defend against Omen Black.
Well, he got a call apparently about that tag team match, and that's what he said. And obviously Felix Jones is not impressed with you, and he's obviously not. And maybe it's that relationship you have with Soldier. We know it goes back for a long time with junior high school, and Daniel Tafua loves these champions. Yes, Zilla, we're wondering who this mystery team is going to be, but we won't know, I guess, until Saturday, right? I guess we won't,
either way, no matter who it is, I'll make them famous. How about that? So,
but you've done that already for, so many people. And I mean, I got to ask you though, because we know your ties to the likes of Anthony Luke and, being there in Orlando, are you maybe ringing Mr. Luke and asking how to prepare for a mystery opponent? I got to bring it up. I mean, are you talking to him at all in any way for strategy?
There's definitely been conversations, like I said, I basically had kind of a tryout while I was in Orlando, and it was more than just, walking them down the ramp. Actually, they had me get involved. So this is kind of, I'm going to continue to build my resume. I'd like to, the tag titles are exclusive to IMF. But this right here, I wouldn't mind taking this to different promotions, defending it, and just representing. I'm still going to rep IMF all over the world, no matter where I am. But I wouldn't mind taking this guy wherever I need to not only help gauge exposure, but, it's all about networking. And, I got some big eyes on me, and they want to see what I can do. They want to see what I'm capable of outside of their resources. But there will be some resources dumped into my activity and what I got going on. So, yeah, you haven't really seen the first of me, I feel like. So definitely haven't seen the last of me when it comes to the
I hope we don't see the last. But you did say when you were here in the past that you were here to stay. You were not just a flash in the pan. You've seen this, and I think you're showing that. Talking about putting the work in Storm Wrestling Academy. Talking about just that what you want to do in terms of being here. We know what you've done in the music world. I mean, you have put so much of your life. You've put basically 2/3 of your life into the music business, and we've seen the kind of success that you have. So if you're going to put that effort into here in wrestling, I mean, I think the sky is the limit for you, really.
Thank you. And I mean,
yeah,
I'll get real humble with you. I'm big on God over here, and
my guest a few days ago, Mark Farner of Grand Funk Railroad, talked a lot about God. He was very much talking about God and the message of love, and I'm really glad that you had also mentioned that.
For me, I was ready to give up music last year, and it wasn't like I'm tired of it. It's I've accomplished so much, with the WNBA, NBA, NFL, performing all over the country, helping other artists achieve their dreams and their goals. I really kind of said to myself, you know what? I think I've done enough. Now I have the Iowa Music Awards to not only carry my legacy, but other people's accomplishments to recognize. I was okay to step away, and I had said a prayer that was, if this music is still for me, I just need to see a direct sign. And if it's not, take it all away. And what I didn't even know was my biggest dream was for it to connect me to wrestling. I've always had this love for wrestling, and I've always had my love for music. And I never force those two things together. They just came together, and now I'm here. Now I'm not only, featured on WWE product every week. They're playing my song. They're either closing the show, starting the show with it. But I just collaborated with one of their producers. I just dropped a freestyle with one of their producers that is absolutely amazing person. Shout out Ryan is Smiley on Instagram. We just dropped something dope. And it's the culture in wrestling is so much healthier than the culture in hip hop or even the music business altogether. Because I work with all genres.
I do a lot of the music business. Trust me, the music business, it's a very cutthroat world, and I think you would do great. I did give my friend Scott Gutierrez info to you, so maybe one day you could collaborate with Mr. Gutierrez. He did record Tupac's. He did record Tupac's last songs when he was alive. I would like to point that out. And you're definitely the real deal. And if you're here, hit the sub button for Tone DeBoss. And also, you'll do well in the IMF, Tone. I support you. And also, I do want to support the IMF today because it's the IMF's day. Now, I know you have a lot to say about this tag team championship match, and I'm sure that Mr. Jovi and Mr. Mephisto would love to be here, but I've received word that there is somebody here that would like to say a few words about you and maybe even their behalf, and I must bring them onto the stage.
Bring them on.
Well, your wish is my command because
this guy.
brothers and sisters rejoice.
This guy.
What's up, Tone?
Couldn't have been Ace. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I joyful even. Before I get to you though, Tom, real quick. I haven't been able to speak to you since, but I appreciate the kind words and well wishes to the family. So just wanted to throw that out there, passing that along from my sister as well. So now back to business. Home. So you talk about you're going to train, right?
Mm-hmm.
You talk about how you're going to do all of these wonderful things. But yet you've got more irons in the fire than the devil himself. You see, we look at the vlog and we look at your socials and we look everywhere. And all I see is your focus divided. So what's your focus going to be like come Saturday? That's my question to you, sir.
Well, see, my thing is, yeah, at times I may seem all over the place. I travel, I rap, I DJ, I podcast. But one consistent thing about my entire life, it's been wrestling. You point at your wrist about the time. This is my time. This is my time to shine. This is my time in the ring. It's funny because before the tag match, you came up to me, my lovely family, and you're like, is it Tone the Boss or Tone the Loss? Tone's been winning. Like, oh, how'd you win that belt? Oh, some backstage antics. Kind of the same way you helped those guys win these. And I knew it was wrong then, and I stepped up and did something about it because I'm focused. I'm locked in.
I read it
right now. I'm locked all the way in. These two belts show that.
I righted it wrong. And, I point at my watch, right? Or I point at my wrist like a watch, right? A broken watch is right twice a day. You got lucky. Maybe you'll get lucky again. We'll see. But eventually, time will run out. And perhaps this Saturday, time will run out for Tone the Loss and Prince Chia Pet.
Let me tell you something.
That's all you do. See, that's it. That's all you do. You should rename your name DJ Chuckles, because all I ever do is hear you laugh.
It's a comedy act every time.
Yes, you are. You're right. You are a comedy act. Thank you very much for finally admitting it, finally broadcasting it to the world.
Oh, you got it
You are
twisted.
a comedy act.
Well,
You
I'm confused. How would you say, Mr. Crowley, that Mr. Tone DeBoss, who's got those 2 championships, would be a comedy act? Do you want to maybe explain that to the audience, how he's a comedy act?
All he wants to do is stand up and laugh. And anytime anybody says anything of substance, he doesn't have a retort other than to laugh.
Oh no, there is a retort when it's necessary. I've already told you when you say that time might run out, it's my time, and you know what that means? It's show time. And when I say it's go time, that isn't go home time. It's time to go in the ring.
Now, Mr. Crowley, I'm sure one thing on your mind about this match, and what some may say now, Tone has made some outstanding points, and there's no question he is definitely serious about being here in this sport. He said a lot of great things, but there is this challenge that always happens when you win a championship for the first time. The most difficult defense is the first one. Anything in life is always the first one. This is the most vulnerable right now that Tone and Prince are. So I would assume from your vantage point, one of the things that you're looking to see is whether Tone DeBoss and Prince Achia will be one-hit wonders coming up after Saturday.
That's basically the point, Tom. And yes, they are extremely vulnerable. And while admittedly they did win, I will give them that. They won at Winter Clash. Fine. But Tone is not a proven commodity when it comes to wrestling. You talk about how you've watched this and you've prepped for this your entire life, but you've only stepped foot in the ring technically one time. Right?
Correct.
You haven't proven anything. And you're talking about how you're apparently gonna go train. So you can only get better, potentially, or it could all end Saturday.
That's the thing. I learn from field experience. I'm a guy that needs to step in the ring. I adapt to any situation. And I'm not going to be vulnerable. Me and Prince are going to be vulnerable this Saturday because we have a surprise opponent. I actually was ready for Midwest Express. I was well prepared for everything that they got. I studied those guys. I know the rock stars like the back of my hand now. With this new tag team that I have no idea who they are, we'll find out that night. And they could be some guys that I've seen before. They could be guys from another promotion. I don't know. That doesn't make me vulnerable. That makes me a little bit on edge.
Now, can I throw a name out there, as a mystery opponent, at least, one of those names? It's interesting, right? I was listening to just the different topics, right? The different, Il Drago came on. We talked about his open challenge, Omen Black, which I'm sure, Mr. Crowley, you would have an opinion on about what he said on different things here tonight. But I'm curious, there's this guy out there that I was wondering if you thought maybe he would show up still. And his name is Justin Parsley, because I received word that Justin Parsley, now his birthday is Saturday night. And I've received word that he wants to come back on Sportswire Radio. As a matter of fact, he wants to come on Sportswire Radio 10 o'clock Eastern time Saturday night. Now, I don't know what Mr. Parsley has in store. I do know it's his birthday Saturday. And I know that he was a huge part of things, really, for a long time there. And what do you think about his name? And he's here Saturday night. He's here Saturday night, 10 o'clock each time on his birthday. And I mean, would he be a name that you ever expect to see in an IMF ring again?
Well, here's the short answer to that, Tom. It's his birthday, right?
Yes, sir. It's his birthday.
Yeah, it's his night, I'm assuming, then, for the show.
He's here 10 o'clock. Yes, he's here talking as himself. Great. He would like to be here. And, he is the hall monitor. I mean, listen, great. I mean, he doesn't.
So You normally like to do something for people when it's their show. I want you to do something different that night.
All right, tell me.
Okay. I want you to buy him a plane ticket because all he's ever good at is going, bye bye.
Ah, I see. So he went bye-bye, and that's why he won't be one of the mystery opponents then. That would be a fair assessment, you think?
I mean, if he shows up, he'll leave before the show starts anyway.
Well, I mean, it'll be. So are you saying that maybe Saturday?
I'm saying he got scared of what Omen Black was going to do, and he ran. He tucked his tail and ran. He got scared. Okay, you know what?
Yes.
I don't want to waste any more time on.
Okay, so I had to throw it out there. So he's going to be here. We are, Felix has some contractual obligations. He's not going to show up here tonight. So, I mean, we'll see Soldier on here, shortly. But I did want to make that announcement because I had just received word that Mr. Parsley has decided he wants to speak Saturday night. So, that's his right to speak,
He's great at talking. He's not great at following through.
Well, you made an interesting point about how he went. Do you think he may do the same thing for Saturday's episode? Because I would hope he'd be here. I think people would want to hear him speak. I would hope.
Well, that's fine. He can do that. He'll feel safe because it's a remote call-in.
Okay. I see. All right. Well, I mean, that's just, one point of it. Mr. Crowley, speaking of which, the other component of that, what was your take on some of Omen Black's comments here tonight?
Obviously he made it well known. He and I have talked quite a bit since Winter Clash. A lot of heart-to-heart talks. And, as you mentioned, he went kind of back to his roots a little bit when he went back to Russia. Certainly seen a different side of him. But, I find it interesting that, I reached out to him. We spoke many, many, many times. He wasn't impossible to reach. I tried to speak to management on his behalf, get them to talk to him. No agreement could be reached because they refused to contact him. The phone works both directions. Yes, I know you'll say that. But if he's telling me to tell them, all you got to do is reach out. All you got to do is ask. And now we've got a Soldier GP in the chat saying, oh, we're always brothers and we're always this and we're always that. But yet he can't pick up the phone. He can't send a text. He can't send an email in today's day and age. I'm the only one that has spoken to Omen Black since Winter Clash.
Yeah, the Rev, he had said that the Rev had not reached out to him. We know Felix obviously has been very vocal about Omen here, and I guess it's an unfortunate situation. I mean, I hope that Omen Black would be a part of IMF, and I'd like to see him out there. I think he's been a tremendous asset for not just IMF, but for all of wrestling, and I've seen his progress, and you certainly know him maybe better than anybody at this point.
He mentioned there's been, we'll just say, negotiations. Obviously I've been privy to those.
Understood.
Sounds like him and Tone have talked to the same people, and ironically enough. At the end of the day, whether anybody agreed with it or not, Omen Black tried to do what was best for IMF. And how was he thanked for that? He was nearly killed in the ring by a guy who calls him his brother. Oh, and that's right. He never quit. It was an I quit match, was it not?
Yep.
He never quit, did he? Did you ever hear him say the words I quit?
No, sir.
So explain to me how the match ended. Now, yes, granted, he was unconscious. Granted. But you can't say I quit when you're unconscious. So maybe seek medical attention. After having a cinder block blasted into his head. And yet his brother can't make a phone call, can't check on his well-being. He didn't house sit for him. I'll guarantee that. While he was in Russia, he didn't go check on the dogs. I did.
I understand. Listen, he obviously being in Russia, that's quite a travel, and I think he learned a lot from that. I actually have a brother that has lived in Russia, so I understand that dynamic. And a big supporter of mine is Russian, and and I don't want to get into her health status, but I understand, and that's some things. But obviously, fellas, I want to move the show along, and we're gonna get ready for some final words. And Tone, would you want to maybe have some final words for certainly Mr. Jovi and Mephisto? And I have a Mephisto comment I'll get to. But would you have final words for, at the very least, Jovi, Mephisto, and whoever else may show up in that ring?
Yeah, I mean, this Saturday we're gonna run it back, and when I say run it back, there's gonna be some crazy spots for sure by yours truly. There's gonna be this random variable of the other tag team. And we're going to see the same outcome. That's me and the Prince, the boss and Prince connection, the crown. Yeah, that we're ending on top. We're retaining these titles. And again, I want to double down. It's not that I'm going to be vulnerable. Even if you add more pressure is what makes diamonds. So I'm ready for Saturday. And
I think
10 match, 100 matches. I'm going to continue to grow. I'm going to continue to get better. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to retain both these belts. This one's on the line, but I'll do everything every time to retain what's mine. It's showtime.
I'll tell you what, very, very excited about that. I do want to get to a bunch of comments before I give Mr. Crowley the floor. And Felix Jones wants to say this. Justin Parsley ran. Omen Black ran, Damian Saint's out. Because of me, Anthony Steele's out. All that's left is Soldier, and after New Year's vengeance, I will have the whole IMF world in my hands. I'll tell you what, Felix has had an amazing run, and I said Felix has a chance to really join some special company, and I'd be very curious to see where that goes. Also, Mephisto would like to say all these goodwill wishes for a guy who's too scared to show himself after the rock stars of the galaxy took away his crown and title. Coincidence? Mephisto, don't believe in those. Boy, it seems like Justin Parsley is getting, I guess, the Stone Cold Steve Austin 2002 treatment, Shawn Michaels 1997. It's not my words, and I do want to say hello to my friend Maria out there, who's been tuned into the entire show the entire time, and she has been appreciating these things, and she is subscribed now to the IMF YouTube page, the Tone to Boss YouTube page as well. Let's get to some more comments, apparently. I just hope to clear the air, enjoy my day of birth, and invite anyone to be on here on Sportswire if you can't be in Ohio to what's shaping up to be a show off the bat. Now, I did see that Mr. Black did want an invite, and I mean, that would be an interesting conversation, I suppose, of Justin Parsley and Omen Black in the same room. I mean, I don't know if that's Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels like, but I hope not. I mean, we want a message of love and God, and I hope.
I want to respond to this.
Okay, let's do that now. I'm doing that. Yes, sir.
Put it up.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and read it. Go ahead.
Jordan, I asked you were okay. I'll go again. Jordan, I asked we were supposed to sit down and wait for Omen to wake up and to continue the match. The ref made a call and ended the match because he couldn't continue.
Okay. How long have we all watched Omen Black in an IMF ring? For years.
Yeah, almost 4 years. Yeah, almost 4 years, basically.
We've seen that man take endless amounts of punishment. Look at the dog collar match with Damian Saint. Look at some of the bloody massacres that he's had with the likes of Ox McCoy, amongst others.
Gabe Sayers, Felix Jones. I mean, there's some big names. Sean Jovi, he's been in the
Yes.
ring with.
Exactly. And yet instantly there's a cinder block shot to the head. And you don't even give him a chance to really recover. If we go back and watch the tape, I mean, it was cinder block. Okay, I guess the match is over. And there was no time.
Omen's a scary dude, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even just hack
Cinder block.
did it.
Nothing says I quit more than being unconscious. And I know the guy. He doesn't have an ounce of quit in him. But the match is over.
Is it? So let me knock you out, and then you tell me if you said I quit.
Still KO. I think that's a.
It wasn't a KO match. It was an I quit match. The stipulation for the match was make your opponent say I quit. Did those words come out of his mouth? Now, we're not going to live in the past. I stand by that, and I can clearly, I've had my disagreements with IMF management during my tenure, and that's fine. We're going to see things differently. But this Saturday, as Omen already said, he's cleared the way. And Felix Jones has already proven he's in the head of his father. More often than not,
that's a good point. That's a good point.
More often than not, when those two get face to face, Felix comes out ahead. And I don't think this Saturday is going to be any different at New Year's Vengeance. I think that the newfound, wonderful, glorious title reign of Soldier GP is going to come to a very abrupt end. And maybe him and Total has something in common because his is going to come to an end too.
Ooh, you know what? That's a reason why you need to be out there. You need to be there this Saturday. There is no better place to be than at the IMF's New Year's Vengeance, their first show of 2026, what proves to be, I think, the biggest year yet in the IMF's history. That's why you need to hit the sub button for the IMF. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We are very excited to have the IMF back on here. We will have post New Year's Vengeance coverage, and we'll talk a lot about that here throughout the month of February. And I'm very excited to see what the fallout from Tone DeBoss's match alongside Prince of Chia. I'm very excited to see Il Drago's open challenge for his championship. We're ringing in that. I'm very excited to see what happens with Freddie Daniels and what happens there with him and Mason Grayskull, Mr. Crowley, Roy Fox and Austin Bayless. I'm excited about that. Gabe Sayers and Ox McCoy. I mean, that's a main event anywhere else. That's a main event anywhere else. I'm excited about that. We got Felix and Soldier. We know their history. I mean, there is a lot. We got, how about Isaiah Rage and Nicholas Crenson? That's Isaiah Rage's return to the IMF for the first time in a year and a half. I mean, there is so much out there, and you're going to get a chance to see that, but you got to buy a ticket. I'm going to go buy my ticket right after this show gets off the air, but hit that sub button for the IMF. Follow Tone DeBoss on YouTube. Check everybody out on Facebook, Instagram. Please support wrestling companies. I cannot stress enough the importance of supporting wrestling companies. This is where wrestling lives. This is where people get an opportunity to live their dreams, start their journey. And I tell you, the best is yet to come. And thank you, Mephisto. Jordan, he couldn't say I quit because he couldn't open his mouth. He quit after the match, though. Quit more than just the match. And let me spell it out for you, brother. Omen, what does that mean? I'll keep my mouth shut when Soldier D becomes on the show. He will be back on here very soon, I promise you. Also, waste of time. We have more comments from the back I'll get to. The ref checked on him and deemed him incapable of continuing. For Felix, I would like to say this in Russian. Obviously, Omen has certainly learned quite a bit of Russian. I think that would be the man coming on here Saturday. I'll leave that at that. We are a family station here on Sportswire. You want to point that out. We are a family station. Yeah.
Hold on a minute, Tom. Go back up to Felix's comment.
There's many of them.
about Omen quit after the match.
Oh, okay. Okay, yes. Jordan, he couldn't say I quit because he couldn't open his mouth. He quit after the match, though. Quit more than just the match.
Did he though? See, again, I've spoken to Omen quite a bit. He didn't quit. His contract ran out. And again, I spoke to him at length multiple times. All management had to do was reach out. So I understand how Felix feels that way. I understand he feels like he was let down. Obviously, there were a lot of emotions going into that night, certainly coming out of Winter Clash. So I can understand how Felix is hurt, but Felix does need to focus on Saturday. But let's keep the story straight. Let's keep reality in check. Okay? Omen Black did not quit IMF. His contract ended. And he walked away because IMF let him walk away.
Well, look, I mean, that's obviously a question that remains to be answered. I mean, he did want to walk out of here as IMF champion. It didn't work out. He had an amazing run, and I would like to see, things certainly repaired. And I just want to, we got that comment already, and thank you, Mr. Parsley. Also, we're getting more comments. I know, I understand. We're moving on. Only because I'm incapable of doing so, and you want a cookie? Hopefully not like the one Mark the Shark got in GTS this past week. Omen has my respect, and yes, I do want a cookie. Also, what kind? Okay, let's move on about the cookie talk here. The Cookie Monster still lasted. Oatmeal. Okay, what else we got here? And let's get to. Okay, all right. I think I got the point. Do you fellas have anything else you want to say here before we sign? But there we go. To go on this, Mr. Parsley, obviously wanting to take more screen time up, and also wanted to say, read this one and put it on the screen too.
I mean,
boy,
So, hey,
I'm hoping.
go back to Omen's last message, because again, he's been getting back to his roots. Well, Omen's.
Which one here? We've got this one.
Yeah. Would you like me to translate that for you?
Do I need the beep button?
Actually, no, you don't.
Okay, then you can do it.
It says the boogeyman says hello.
Who knew? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I am very excited about Saturday's show. I do one more time want to put the YouTube link up, so please go out there and hit that sub button for the IMF, and I hope you join me in supporting them. And I can assure you, this show is going to be one like no other vengeance. Mother Nature has talked about her own New Year's vengeance, but I think the IMF is coming in like a lion with New Year's vengeance coverage. And Felix, you love Mephisto, though. Makes sense, brother. Much appreciated. He did say all of you, and Felix is just not a happy man. And then Tom skips me for Parsley. What has this show come to? Listen, you know what? We were trying to get through all the comments, but thank you, Mr. Jones.
I will say Felix is certainly fired up, and I hope he brings that fire on Saturday.
Hey, that's a good point. You know what? That's a great point. That is a great point. But I think, fellas, I've seen enough here, and I look forward to seeing what you guys all do. Mr. Crowley, I'm looking forward to seeing what you have to say about Saturday's show. And I do want to keep your family in my thoughts and prayers if I could. I really would appreciate that. And Mr. Tone DeBoss, I'm looking forward to seeing you out there in that ring again. We'll see if you can continue that magic that you've had here these first few months in the IMF. And few more comments before we go. All caps is unbecoming of you, Felix. That is from Justin Parsley. He's upset at even you, boy. Felix, he's definitely got some rage in the cage there to steal a show we had. I didn't see Mephisto any of that. I'm flattered, brother, but you can also thank you. All right, I've got the point, fellas. I am looking forward to seeing what's ahead here. And Nepo Baby having a tantrum. I don't think Felix is a Nepo Baby, but I think Felix is a heck of a talent, regardless of what you think of him. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he does out there, and his dad as well. And fellas, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing the fallout from this match, and can't wait to do this again. And boy, we'll have a lot to talk about, and I have no doubt we'll continue to see what happens afterwards.
Showtime. Check out Tone the Boss's vlog. Stole it from Jovi.
Oh, you know what? And I'm glad you did that because I will plug Sean Jovi because Sean Jovi unfortunately could not make it here due to let's just say travel restrictions. And if you are out there, hit the sub button for Sean Jovi's YouTube channel. He's almost there at 1,000 subs, and you can watch Tone DeBoss taking over Jovi's vlog and get a lot of great things about his musical career and other stuff he'd like to do in the wrestling world. And I would really appreciate that. You can hit the sub button there. And Sean Jovi's a few subs away. It helps Tone DeBoss. And boy, Felix is definitely not in a good mood. And something tells me, Felix is not in a good mood. But there you go.
Again, Steve, Tone can't come up with anything original, so he's got to steal Jovi's vlog.
Well, he got the right to have the vlog. He did get the right. He did get the right. But we'll see if it motivates Jovi. And, fellas, we'll definitely do this again. And I want to say thank you, Marie, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. And please do it again. We'll be here a couple of times, but I'll be here most importantly tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. with Chase Wakefield. Chase Wakefield makes his return to the ring. And Omen is buying a ticket for Saturday. He wants to watch up close too. And no one cares. All right, fellas, thank you so much. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. You have voice figuratively and literally all musical, sports, and all wrestling matters. Hit the sub button for the IMF. Follow them. Please hit the sub button for us. Also want to keep Mr. Soldier GP's family in our thoughts and prayers as well. They're going through some different things, and everybody else is out there. And until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the number one global radio that is Sportzwire Radio. Oh, Miss Boy, we just can't end. Even though Parsley is not for the company anymore, he is still a good, I think you meant to say wrestler, but if I can make it Saturday, I'll stop by and say hi. If not, then hi. Okay. I think it's time to move on. Vamoose, we'll see everybody here tomorrow. Have a great night. Be safe out there if you're on the roads.